Okay, so Borderlands 2 has been out for a few weeks now. I had a lot of fun with the original, and I was pretty damn excited when I heard there was going to be a sequel. 5 years after the end of the first game, Handsome Jack has taken over Hyperion. He's made himself ruler of Pandora, and he took all credit for finding the vault. The story's pretty decent overall, and it flows really well. The main problem I had with it was the way it was presented. The characters will speak to you when you walk up to them and interact. This is pretty normal and what you'd expect from a video game. There's tons of generic lines, and all have about 50 different ways to say they don't have a job for you. The problem arises when you keep interacting with them while they're talking. The one scene that made it really obvious was involving Mordecai. I'm not going to go into what was happening, but he really should have been upset and sad. I walked up to him to see if he had anything to say, and all I got from him was a standard line saying he didn't have a job for me. It was really out of place, and you can do it at any point through the game. The game itself keeps the hand-drawn textures from the first game, which I'm really a big fan of. It's a really nice, unique style. The world itself is very well designed as well. Lots of different areas, each with a unique look and feel. They also did a redesign of the user interface, polished it up from the best that was the first game. It's a lot better, but you can really tell it's designed for consoles. The sound in the game is above average, guns have nice bangs, enemies have loads of different screams, and your character has a nice amount of domination lines and general comments to make. The music is pretty good, with a lot of ambient sounds fitting the situations they're in, and the tense combat music that switches in really does a good job as well. There's too much dubstep though. I'm not saying I don't like dubstep, but it just really seems like it's thrown in because it's popular at the moment. The gunplay itself is really good. There's loads and loads of different weapons you can find, and unlike the first game, they actually look and feel different to each other. Elemental weapons especially seem to have had a workover because they're just amazing. There's a large variety of enemies to shoot at, lots of old mobs come back, as well as a lot of new ones. One thing they didn't address from the first game was the number of invisible walls there are. There's just so damn many. It may be because Borderlands is a game that encourages exploring, but it's just so noticeable, and they are everywhere. Overall the game's great, it's really solid and well made, there's just a couple of problems that can be overlooked.